Hello, Kingdom Kids. How was everybody's week? Did you guys do anything cool this week? What about you, Miss Melissa? Did you do anything cool?
Well, it was your birthday.
Was it?
It was. You're getting super old now.
I'm getting so old I've forgotten it.
Yeah. Going to be growing lots of long hairs like Moses.
Yep,
White,
I'm going to be
white.
rocking the Moses look. I mean, like 1 week it'll be Joshua, and then the next week full Moses.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And then after that's ZZ Top.
Anyways, back to Moses.
Yes. So when we last left Moses, he was up on the mountain with God getting the 10 Commandments, and he was kind of there for a while.
Talking like 40 days.
40 days a while. So remember, while Moses is up there talking with God for 40 days, the Israelites are down at the bottom in their tents all around the mountain. Now, you guys think you might have been bored in your houses for 40 days. Imagine how bored the Israelites were. They had tents and they had sand, and that's about it.
And they don't know what's going on. Like Moses has just kind of disappeared. They know there's been, the mountain shaking. There was a lot of action going on, but like what's happening right now? They start to get a little impatient.
Impatience. That is truly a dilemma. To illustrate the effects of impatience or waiting a long time, we actually did an experiment with our kids at home. Now again, in true Kingdom Kids fashion, please don't try this at home. We are both trained professionals. That's why we were able to conduct this experiment in a safe and sterile environment, right?
Right.
Right.
Our kids kind of think we were mean for doing it to them.
Wow, but they got candy.
Yeah.
So here's the situation. We gave each of our kids a little bowl with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in front. And we said, you can eat this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup at any time, but if you wait till the end of the experiment, you will get 2 more Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, taking the grand total to 3.
Yes.
So we filmed, and we waited, and we watched, and we're going to share some of the highlights with you guys.
Let's play some rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, let's rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
Yeah, that might
I am not making a sacrifice. The person who doesn't like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups could do it, and that's you. This is really boring. I don't want to eat
I bet this is the longest Kingdom Kids video.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how do we know we're doing this for Kingdom Kids? Did Daddy say? I don't really remember. Oh, wait, yeah, he did.
Well,
Me too.
only one of us will
Wait,
get
guys. No, it won't. No, it won't. Daddy said it was a timer. Remember?
Yeah, but what if the timer is, it'll stop when one of us eats the first one?
I don't think it'll work that way. And everybody will get. Wait, what if Dad doesn't let us?
Dad said the winner will get another Reese's one.
But if we split it, it'll be fair.
No, wait! He said you'd have 2.
You get 3. Yeah. The winner will get 2 Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. We already have one.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, let's. Landon, Vivian, me, Miles, and Vivian will all touch ours. And Landon, you have to Actually, why don't I do it? I don't trust Landon. Oh.
I don't trust Sophia.
Who votes that I should do it? Who votes that Miles should do it? Who votes that Landon should do it? There are 2 votes for me. I think it's more likely that I should do it. Guys, let's do rock, paper, scissors, shoot for it. No.
Pippin should do it!
I can't take this anymore. I'm going to touch
Let's
it.
do a staring contest against the phone.
That's going to be creepy. That's going to creep kids out.
Hi, I'm Georgie.
You didn't. You don't see those things. I am not wasting my last day of school. I'm not wasting the last day that I'll ever have school sitting there staring at Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Okay, then you can go.
Right.
Touch it! Touch it! Touch it! Touch it!
I just want to say one thing. I'm being the responsible one.
Oh! She touched it! She touched it! She touched it!
You get to eat it, so.
She did.
It's delicious.
All right, so those were some of the good parts. Now, fun story, they actually waited so long, the boys at the end, they waited so long, my camera ran out of space, so we didn't finally catch a picture of them breaking. But I can tell you, it was over an hour and 20 minutes
Right.
before Miles was the last one. He got all 3 of the peanut butter cups.
And they all got to eat one, don't worry.
And they all got peanut
Yeah.
butter cups, so it's okay.
Yes.
All right, yes. Nobody, didn't get anything.
They were really tested with their patience, though, and especially not knowing when the end was. I think that made it harder. Sometimes if you know exactly when something's going to end, it makes it more bearable. But if you're just kind of like, this could end any time, it could be a while, that just makes it really tricky.
So as crazy as our kids were, what the Israelites did when they got impatient was kind of worse.
Yes, they really took it to the extreme.
Okay.
So, are you ready to listen?
I sometimes struggle listening, so.
Well, I have an idea today. Let's
Okay.
switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
If you're at home, I want you to go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, right? Take a second. I have one here for Mr. Jamie.
Are you
And-
implying that I can't pay attention for the whole story?
Well, I think it'll help distract you a little bit in a good way.
no.
So you're not like looking everywhere. This way it'll kind of focus you in, right?
All right.
I know my kids like to draw sometimes if we're reading a story. It helps them listen better. So Mr. Jamie's going to illustrate for us today our story. I want you guys to do the same, okay? So get your paper, get your pen,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm listening and drawing.
okay.
Okay.
While Moses was on top of Mount Sinai talking with God, Joshua waited for him on the mountainside. From their tents in the valley, the Israelites looked at the mountain. That's where you draw the mountain.
I'm drawing the mountain. I drew the
Okay.
mountain. Look, see? This is my mountain.
Oh, that is not a good mountain.
It's a good mountain.
No, all right, whatever. All right. The
Critics.
top looked like fire, and flames shot up into the sky day and night. The people knew Moses was in the thick cloud with God. When the days became weeks and still Moses did not return, the Israelites wondered if he would ever come back. They grew restless. They soon forgot how afraid they had been when God's voice thundered from the smoking mountain. They seemed to forget even the words that God had spoken. They forgot they had promised Moses to obey the words of the Lord. One day they said to Aaron, remember this is Moses' brother, who's
Yep.
kind of in charge of them right now.
Okay.
We know something dreadful has happened to Moses because he does not come back. Of course, they complained because Moses had led them into the lonely wilderness and left them without a brave leader to take his place. Every day they grew more restless. Finally, they told Aaron, make us gods to go before us and show us the way.
Wait. Hold on a second. Make us gods.
I know. They have seen literal miracles from the Lord, the Red Sea parting and quail coming down from heaven and manna.
Pillars of fire, pillars of
Yes,
smoke.
they saw the mountains shake and tremble, and Moses has been gone a while, and they're getting impatient,
It just goes to show you what sitting there with nothing to do
right?
it really
It
messes
can
with you.
get yourself into trouble if you're not careful. We have to be on guard. How's your picture coming?
I'm working on it.
All right, we're gonna have to see what it looks like, guys.
You
All
will.
right.
Yep.
So, Aaron was not brave. He feared the people. He remembered the time they had wanted to kill Moses because they could find no water. Perhaps he thought they would kill him if he refused to do as they asked. He did not remind them of their promise to serve no gods but the true God. Instead, he told them, bring your gold earrings to me, and the people did. Now, can you imagine all of them bringing all their gold, earrings, and jewelry? Like, it's a crazy amount of gold. And
How
he-
many people were there?
I mean, there's millions. So they take all of this gold. Aaron melts the gold carefully in the fire. Then he shaped the gold into the form of a calf, which is a baby cow, like
Okay.
the ones the Egyptians worshipped.
Wait, do baby cows have horns?
Are you trying to draw a baby cow?
Maybe.
Probably not a baby.
Okay, well, then this one's going to be wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh boy, guys, this is going to be good. So when Aaron saw how much the people liked the calf, he put it in the middle of the camp and built an altar before it. Tomorrow we shall have a feast to our God, he announced. Is this not depressing? I mean, God has been everything to them, and
He took care of them
Yes.
through so many worse things, and they literally had to they had one job. Their
Right.
one job was just to wait patiently.
Right, and it was hard for them, and they decided to make their own god. The next day, the Israelites had a great feast and worshiped the gold calf, just as they had seen their Egyptian neighbors do. As they bowed themselves before the idol and sang and danced around it, they were breaking the 10 commandments God had told them to obey. Can you think of what that 10 commandment might be they were breaking?
I believe if we had asked Pastor Sean, he'd say, "Thou shalt not sin.
But specifically this one,
You shall have no other gods before me."
yes.
There you go.
All right. So how's your picture coming?
Good.
You
good,
almost done?
good. Yep.
All right. So at this point, God tells Moses what's going on, and he wants to destroy them. But Moses begs the Lord and says, please, spare the people. He prays for them, and the Lord does not destroy the Israelites. Moses hurried down the mountainside with Joshua. In his arms were the 2 wonderful tablets of stone upon which God had written the 10 Commandments. It was hard for Moses to believe the Israelites had sinned so greatly. When they came into camp, they saw the people dancing and shouting before the gold calf. Moses was so angry that he threw down the 10 Commandments to the ground, and they broke into pieces. I mean, talk about depressing. These beautiful stone tablets that God's words have been put on. Moses is so angry over the sin of the people that he throws them down and breaks them. All right, I think you better show us.
Hang on, almost done. Okay, all right. So here's my drawing.
Wow.
Yes, so you have Moses up here, little tiny stick figure Moses.
He's got
with
the
his
10
staff.
Commandments.
Yep, 10 Commandments.
He's going to
and
break
staff.
them soon.
Now, in my version, his staff is also a lightsaber because Moses was pretty cool, like
okay.
a Jedi.
All right, all right.
So you've got the fire up in the mountain, you've got the fireworks and all the cool stuff going on. Okay, then you've got Moses coming down the mountain, and here he sees the golden calf, which has a cowboy hat because cows don't have horns when they're babies. Here's Aaron and all the Israelites and their tents. This was their feast. I decided that their feast was pizza. Yes, and he's saying, no, and breaking the tablets.
And there they are broken.
Yes, they're all broken. So I am going
Man.
to sign this, and someday it'll be worth millions.
I'm sure.
Future generations.
If any of you would like to snap a picture and have your mom or dad send it in, I would love to see if you can do a better job than Mr. Jamie
Hey.
or a comparable job at your artwork of the story of Moses breaking the 10 Commandments after the golden calf comes out. So to wrap things up, it says, Moses ran into the camp and tore down the idol while the people watched. He broke it into pieces and threw it into the fire. Then he ground it into fine dust and put it in the drinking water. This made the water taste very bitter, but Moses insisted that the people drink it. This
So
is
that
like
was
tough
like
punishment.
their punishment.
Yeah, they had to drink the idol water. Like,
Ugh.
oh, I can't even imagine how gross that would taste. All right. Sternly, Moses.
That probably tasted worse than like the LaCroix stuff. And that stuff tastes bad.
Sternly, Moses asked Aaron, "What have these people done that made you bring this terrible sin upon them?" Aaron answered, "Do not be angry with me. You know how evil these people are in their hearts." So he immediately shifts the blame. It's just a mess down there, isn't it?
Do you guys ever do that when you get in trouble? Do you immediately say, well, it was my older brother, he broke stuff first, so then I figured stuff was already broken so I could break it more?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yep.
So everyone was sad, but no one was quite as sad as Moses. He knew how his people had sinned, and he was afraid God might not forgive them. The next day, Moses told the people, "You have been very wicked, and in God's sight your sin is great. I will go up to him now, and I will make an offering for your sin. Perhaps he will forgive you." And Moses went before the Lord and offered himself to die if God would not forgive the people. But God said, "Those who have sinned against me must suffer for their own sins." Boy, Moses sure loved the people, didn't he?
He did. He did a lot. How many times did he intercede for them?
Yeah.
He did it up on the mountain, and then he went back up to God again after all the bad things that the Israelites
found
had done.
out about, yeah.
And he said again, God, please.
Yeah, he had a lot of love for them. But this story, it doesn't kind of end very happy right now, does it?
It is kind of a bummer of an
It
ending.
is, but it's a reminder to us that we need to have patience. Sometimes there's things in our life we have to wait for a long time, right?
True.
And we don't always know when an end is going to come, and we have to trust that God's going to take care of us and to not get ourselves into trouble when we're waiting on things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your mom's asked you to wait for something, and she walks out of the room, and you take that as an opportunity to do something you shouldn't do, or to say things, or to tattle, or whatever it is, right? So we want to make sure we're watching our words and our actions, especially when we're having to wait for something, that we really have a spirit of patience.
That is true.
Yeah. So,
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing your amazing artwork with Moses and the 10 Commandments and the Golden Idol.
yes,
And I think that's about it for
I
this
think
week.
we are good.
All right. We'll see you guys back here next week.
All right, bye,
Take care.
guys.
Bye.